I'm Dr. Marsh, director of the Dino Institute, and I hope you enjoyed those quaint exhibits in the old wing. That's how dinosaurs have been presented to the public since the study of fossils began over 150 years ago. Today, that bare-bones approach is about to become extinct. In a perfect blending of science and technology, the Dino Institute has created the Time Rover, an amazing vehicle that will literally transport you to the age of the dinosaurs. How? That's proprietary. But the result is a breathtaking journey through a prehistoric world where you will witness the most spectacular creatures to ever walk the earth. In a moment, you'll be going live to our control center for a comprehensive safety briefing. And then it's on to the tour that will convince you forever that the future is truly in the past.
Hello and welcome to Theme Park History, the channel for everything to do with theme parks. Old and new, big and small. In today's episode, we travel back in time to the Cretaceous period and explore Countdown to Extinction, a dark ride attraction that opened at Disney's Animal Kingdom on April 22nd, 1998 and closed on May 1st, 2000. This attraction was suggested by all these interns of the Dino Institute, so thank you to everyone for your comments. As always, if there's an attraction you would like us to cover in future videos, leave a comment down below. You never know, your suggestion might be next month's video. As the only opening day dark ride attraction at Animal Kingdom, Countdown to Extinction took guests back 65 million years to when dinosaurs ruled the earth. The attraction's history is a fascinating one, as Countdown to Extinction went through many changes during its development and construction due in part to creative differences, budget cuts, and eventually a movie tie-in. Combining a state-of-the-art ride system with some of the largest and most impressive animatronics Disney has ever created, the attraction is considered by guests to be one of the best dark rides at Walt Disney World.
First thing you gotta remember about Disney World is to pace yourself. If you try to do it all at once, you'll be sleeping like a baby by lunchtime. Number 2, don't eat right before you go on Mr. Toad's Wild Ride. Number 3, Goofy is huge. Goofy could beat up Dad. I guess that's it. You're gonna love this place, Larry. It really brings out the kid in you.
Call 1-407-WDisney and make the dream come true.
We'll be leaving in about 3 weeks.
By the mid-1990s, the Walt Disney World Resort had lived up to its motto as the vacation kingdom of the world, with its 3 major theme parks, Magic Kingdom, Epcot, and Disney MGM Studios, all being huge successes and bringing in record numbers of guests. Michael Eisner, the chairman and CEO of the Walt Disney Company at the time, had declared the 90s the Disney decade. Eisner's plan for the decade would feature an unprecedented expansion of the company's theme parks. Some examples include the opening of Splash Mountain at Magic Kingdom, Captain EO at Epcot, and the Twilight Zone Tower of Terror at Disney MGM Studios. While adding new attractions to existing parks were part of Eisner's plan, it was only the beginning of what he had in mind. While no specifics were given at the time, Eisner did state that Disney was looking to design and build a 4th theme park for the resort, with construction to begin by the end of the decade. The concept for the new park would eventually focus on the combination of a live land animal park with thrill rides, but with a twist. While the new park would operate like most zoos at the time, with animal enclosures made to look entirely natural and boundary-free, it would also have a focus on animals from the past and imagined, meaning areas of the parks would be dedicated to dinosaurs and mythical creatures such as dragons and unicorns. Officially announced on June 21st, 1995, Disney's Wild Animal Kingdom would be set to open in the spring of 1998, and was slated to feature more than 1,000 animals, spread across 500 acres.
First came the Magic Kingdom, then Epcot, then Disney MGM Studios, and now... Introducing the most adventurous Walt Disney World theme park ever. Disney's Animal Kingdom, the imagination of Disney, gone wild.
The park would include lands devoted to exhibits of African and Asian wildlife, as well as lands inspired by extinct and imaginary animals. Two centerpieces of the park would be Beastly Kingdom, a land devoted to creatures of legend and mythology that would feature mythical animals such as unicorns, dragons, and sea monsters. And the other would be Dinoland, a land devoted around dinosaurs and other extinct prehistoric life. Each area would feature a major e-ticket attraction inspired by the animals represented in each area. Beastly Kingdom and Dinoland would take the zoo concept to an entirely new level, creating a Disney experience that even the best zoos couldn't compete with. While heading into the final steps of the park's planning and development, Eisner made a decision that would change the immediate future of the new park. Due to the higher than expected cost of the upkeep and care of the animals at the park, Eisner began looking for ways to keep the cost of the park down to stay within the budget. It was decided, in order to stay within the park's budget, that only one of the two lands would be built at first, with the other eventually being an expansion of the park once Animal Kingdom had proven to be a popular hit with guests and began to churn a profit. It's been said the two teams of Imagineers who were working on Beastly Kingdom and Dinoland began to compete with each other, trying to convince Eisner why their land should be built first instead of the other. It was eventually decided Dinoland would be built first, thanks in part to a few outside factors that helped influence Eisner's decision. With the popularity of dinosaurs on the rise due in part to the 1993 box office hit Jurassic Park, and the movie's own theme park attraction Jurassic Park The Ride, Eisner saw the potential of Disney having their own dinosaur-based attractions as a great way to draw people to the park, along with tons of merchandising opportunities. Another factor in Eisner's decision was the team working on Dinoland was willing to compromise in order to get their land built, including having the two attractions originally planned be combined into one, and incorporate the same EMV ride system that the Indiana Jones adventure uses, to help keep costs down. Once the decision was final, most of the creative team behind Beastly Kingdom would leave the company, but their ideas of a land of mythical creatures wouldn't go to waste. Universal Creative would hire them, and the Beastly Kingdom concept would be revised and transformed into the Lost Continent, a land at Universal's Islands of Adventure theme park, which would open 1 year after Animal Kingdom in 1999. With Dinoland being officially greenlit, work on the area's dark ride began. The original concept for the attraction would have had guests travel back in time to the prehistoric world in a family-friendly ride that would have had included numerous animatronic dinosaurs. Due in part to the compromises the team would make, the attraction would instead be turned into a thrill ride, reusing the same EMV ride system and borrowing many features from the Indiana Jones adventure. However, Eisner would once again intervene during the construction of the attraction. Still worried about the park's overall budget, Eisner would curb some of the ideas put in place for the attraction, and instead wanted to promote synergy with the attraction's story by tying it into a future movie project, one that we'll get into more detail later on. Eisner felt having both the attraction's Imagineers and the movie's animators working together would help influence each other to improve both of the projects. This synergy would influence the species chosen for the attraction, with early plans involving a Tyrannosaurus Rex being put aside for a Carnotaurus. The animatronics created would be among the largest ever built for a Disney attraction. Computer animation was utilized to plan each figure's movement. Each figure would run at 3,000 psi of hydraulic pressure, allowing for smooth movement of their massive bodies, with some of the rubber skins weighing up to 500 pounds. Special effects for the attraction included lasers, pyrotechnics, lighting, and projection effects, as well as one of the largest smoke machines ever installed at a theme park. A proposed but unused effect was a Pepper's Ghost illusion that would have shown the Iguanodon with the time rover at the end of the attraction. The effect would instead be replaced by security monitor footage of it roaming the halls of the Dino Institute. Countdown to Extinction would officially open with Disney's Animal Kingdom on April 22, 1998. While Disney has never released how much the attraction cost to be built, rumors stated it was anywhere between $40 to $60 million. Located in the Dinoland USA section of the park, guests enter the headquarters of the Dino Institute, a research group that focuses on the preservation of dinosaurs. As guests make their way through the queue, they encounter murals of what artists believe the age of dinosaurs would have looked like, along with a massive Carnotaurus fossil. After making their way past the fossil, guests enter the pre-show theater, where they are introduced to Dr. Marsh, the director of the Dino Institute. Dr. Marsh informs the guests that the bare-bones approach of dinosaur research and preservation is is about to become extinct, as the Dino Institute has created the Time Rover, a brand new vehicle that is able to travel through time and back to the Cretaceous period. Marsh tells the guests that they will be entering the Time Rover and taking a tour back 65 million years, but before they do so, they need to be briefed on safety protocols and procedures. Guests then meet Dr. Grant Seeker, who skips most of the safety instructions to explain his true intentions for today's trip back in time. Seeker believes that if he is able to send and bring back guests from the past, that it's possible to bring back a dinosaur as well. Seeker wants to use the Time Rover and help from the guests to locate an iguanodon he had placed a tracer on during a previously unauthorized trip. There's one problem though. The iguanodon is located at the end of the Cretaceous period, meaning the timing would bring guests right before the giant meteorite that destroyed the dinosaur is supposed to hit Earth. Dr. Marsh re-enters and informs both Seeker and the guests that their tour will take place during the early Cretaceous period, and that the Time Rover is locked on those time coordinates. Marsh leaves while Dr. Seeker is explaining safety features, and then, once Dr. Marsh has left the room, unlocks the coordinates and alters them so the guests can continue the mission. The doors to the theater open and guests make their way downstairs to an underground lab where they load into the 12-passenger Time Rover. Once the guests have entered the Time Rover, the vehicle enters the time tunnel and successfully travels back to the late Cretaceous period. Now in a dense jungle, the Time Rover makes its way through looking for the tagged iguanodon. The guests encounter numerous dinosaurs in their search, including a Styracosaurus, an Alioramus eating a smaller dinosaur, a Hadrosaur watching over its babies, and a Velociraptor hiding in the bushes. After passing the dinosaurs, there is a sudden loud noise. The noise was a meteor that hit the rover, which causes the vehicle's onboard computer to lose its signal and drift off course. After Dr. Seeker is able to regain the vehicle's signal, the computer identifies another large dinosaur, a Carnotaurus, a dinosaur that is similar to a T-Rex, standing right in front of the Time Rover, ready to devour the guests. The Time Rover takes off, with the Carnotaurus giving chase, its footsteps being heard trailing behind for a short period. The guests are able to escape and come across another dinosaur, a long-necked sauropod. The onboard computer warns of an asteroid impact in 90 seconds as pterodactyls fly overhead. Still traveling through the jungle, the computer warns the guests that the asteroid will impact in 60 seconds as a group of small Compsognathus jump overhead. The guests encounter the Carnotaurus, who once again gives chase, but this time the Time Rover's power level becomes critical and the vehicle has to shut down. With the vehicle now at a complete stop, the Carnotaurus gets in front of the Time Rover, roaring and standing up straight, ready to finally make the guests its dinner. Dr. Seeker is able to recharge the Time Rover in the nick of time, and the guests are able to escape. The guests are finally able to find the tagged iguanodon, which is identified by the computer and launches a laser net onto the dinosaur, bringing it into the rover's transport field. The computer warns of the impending asteroid impact. As the asteroid is shown coming down right in front of the Time Rover, everything goes dark and electric noises are heard. Then, the returning time travel chamber lights up, meaning that the Time Rover and guests have made it back to the present day before the asteroid hit. Heading back to the loading station, a television shows the iguanodon roaming the halls of the Dino Institute, marking the mission as a success. The guests exit the vehicle and head into the Dino Institute shop, where merchandise from the attraction is sold. As one of the park's marquee opening day attractions, reception to the dark ride were met with mixed reactions from guests. While some praised the overall ride system and story, as it was something not seen before in an attraction at Walt Disney World, others criticized how intense the ride was, as it might be considered too scary for younger children to experience. Even though Countdown to Extinction proved to be one of the more popular attractions when Animal Kingdom opened in 1998, the attraction's own Countdown to Extinction would quickly begin shortly thereafter. As we mentioned earlier in the video, one of the reasons behind Michael Eisner's decision for Dinoland to be built before Beastly Kingdom was due in part to a future movie in production that would connect both the movie and the attraction. On May 19, 2000, Disney would release the film Dinosaur. In development hell since 1988, Dinosaur would be the second film produced by Walt Disney Feature Animation to feature computer-generated three-dimensional animation. The story of the film follows an orphaned iguanodon named Aladar, who after surviving a devastating meteor shower, looks for a new place to call home. Along the way, he befriends and unites with the remaining herd of dinosaurs who are being pursued by predators, such as the Carnotaurus. The film, which combined the CGI animated dinosaurs with live-action backgrounds that were filmed on location, was the most expensive film to be released that year with a price tag of $127.5 million. The film would be a box office success, grossing over $349 million worldwide to become the fifth highest grossing film of 2000. During the construction to Countdown to Extinction, Eisner thought the story of the attraction should relate in some way to the movie, as it was believed Dinosaur would be the next big franchise for Disney. This is why the attraction story focuses on an iguanodon and Carnotaurus, two characters featured prominently in the film. To help create synergy between the film and the attraction, Countdown to Extinction would change its name to Dinosaur on May 1st, 2000.
We've got a few more mouths to feed at Disney's Animal Kingdom. Dinosaur, ride it.
Outside the Dino Institute, the dinosaur statue would be replaced with an Aladar statue, and footage from the film would be included during the pre-show to help better connect it to the attraction. A few cosmetic changes wouldn't be the only thing to change to the attraction. The ride's vehicle motion would be toned down for a less intense experience, along with changes to the ride's audio and lighting to make the overall attraction a lot less scary and cater to the younger children and the family audience it was now focused towards. Another major change to the attraction would be its finale. In Countdown to Extinction, an asteroid almost hits guests before they're able to time travel back to current day. For Dinosaur, the asteroid is replaced with one final attack from the Carnotaurus. The change was made to better emphasize the movie's story. Reception to the changes of the attraction were mixed at best, as many guests felt that even with the adjustments to make it less intense, Dinosaur was still too scary for children. It's been debated by fans whether or not Countdown to Extinction was the better of the two attractions, due in part of it being created with the intentions of being a thrill ride, and that the changes were only done in an attempt to draw people to the park. Another criticism of the past few years has been the lack of maintenance and refurbishments to the attraction, with many of the animatronics barely moving and most of the special effects either working only partially or not at all. Since 2017, there have been rumors of Dinoland USA being rethemed into a land based on Indiana Jones, with the dinosaur attraction being reskinned to become the Indiana Jones Adventure. The attraction located at both Disneyland and Tokyo Disney Sea. This change would make sense, as Dinosaur is a clone to the Indiana Jones Adventure, and uses the same ride system and track layout. But any changes to the area and the attractions are most likely still a few years away, due in part to the projects currently taking place at other Walt Disney World parks. It might be safe to say though that an asteroid is currently on a collision course with Dinosaur, and the Dino Institute's days might be numbered. For over 20 years, whether it was Countdown to Extinction or better known today as Dinosaur, the attraction has been a non-stop thrill ride from beginning to end, combining its state-of-the-art ride system with some of the most impressive animatronics ever created for a Disney theme park attraction. The ride has been a staple of Animal Kingdom and is still a must-ride attraction when visiting the park. While its Countdown to Extinction might be finally hitting zero in the near future, there's no denying the attraction's impact has had, sending guests on an adventure 65 million years in the making. So that is the theme park history of Countdown to Extinction. As always, thank you for watching the video and supporting the channel. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel. If there's any attraction you want us to cover in future videos, leave a comment down below. Once again, thank you for watching, and until next time, computer, find me a funny dinosaur clip to end this video.
Not the mama, not the mama, not the mama, not the mama, not the mama.
You do that one more time and I'm gonna throw you across the room.